G'day everyone, thank you very much for tuning into the channel today. On the board we have from Sonicake, the Portal. Now this is a really handy bit of kit to have on your pedal board or even sitting on your desktop. Even if you're a synth player, something like this is going to be really handy for you. I'm going to talk you through its basic operations today, and then I'm going to make a couple of different videos with it, how I'm going to use it in a wet dry wet way, and also using synth drones on my pedal board. So stay tuned for those videos after you watch this one. Okay, so effectively it's a 2-loop switcher with individual volumes for each channel, individual switches for each channel, and it also has ground lifts for the 2 loops, or phase control for the 2 lifts, and it also has the ability to run the 2 effects loops in parallel mode, or one into the other, stacking them in a serial path. So I'll show you what difference that makes in a minute. But first, that's my dry sound. It is super dry, like dry as a dead dingo's donut. I'm going into the amp behind me there, the silver one. You can see it over my shoulder. It's just bass, middle, treble. Where am I? Volume, treble, bass. That's it. Then for a bit of dirt. Now this is before the Portal. So this is, I'm hitting the mischief from past effects before I even get into the Portal. Then in one effects loop, I have again from past effects, this Kurtz Cologne chorus pedal. In another effects loop, the second effects loop, I have this old Boss digital sampler and delay. Just because it's simple and it's awesome, it has that weird sort of Bucket Brigade chip sound to it where it degrades a little over time. It's very old and it's one of my favorite pedals. So anyway, so that's in B. Then the end, they've given you a switch and a separate output for the actual output. So we're coming in, send A to the Cologne and back in, out into the delay and back in, and then out to through the output. Now the output has its own separate delay, separate volume. So what makes this cool is, if you're using an amp or a preamp like I am right now, it gives you a fair bit of boost if you need it. So you can see how much extra boost it gives you. Even more apparent when you've got a drive pedal on. Just for the sake of the video, I'm just going to bring that back to unity. Now, if you've got a phase issue, you'll be able to hear it straight away because all the bottom end falls out of your sound, and then you can just push the button depending on which pedal is giving you a complete tone suck. You'll hear all the tone sucked out of your signal. You can just hit the button, it fixes the phase issue. I know that Eventide H9s have a reverse phase if you run them in certain loopers. Alright, so this other switch here lets you run the 2 effects loops in series or in parallel. Now, what that means is at the moment, I have got my chorus pedal going into my sampler and then out to my amp. So if I crank the rate of my Kurtz Cologne up, you can hear how fast it's going. And you can hear that modulation, that very fast modulation, is also in the repeats of my delay. So you can hear that very fast modulation. That's etched and burnt into it because at the moment the chorus pedal is going into the delay. Now if I flick this switch, it allows the signal to run through them side by side. So the modulation now will not be in my delays. So there's a lot of times where you might have a vibrato pedal. You don't want vibrato going back into the second pedal because then it will just become a chorus. Being able to run things like a vibrato or a rotary or a phaser or stuff in parallel rather than in series is a great, great bonus. But I thought putting a chorus pedal on really fast modulation and putting it into the delay would be the best way to show you what it's doing. So yeah, when it's in series, which is how a normal pedal board would go, it's just like plugging one pedal into the next, into the next, into the next. You can hear all that warble from the chorus pedal is in the delays. And when you have them in parallel, so you're effectively making two separate signal chains. You can hear that the chorus pedal modulation is not in the delay. So that's a really makes it super flexible. So we've got 3 loops. A, B, and C is the output, which lets you turn it on and off. You can also boost the signal, which is awesome. It's got boost. It's got 2 lots of phase shifts. So if you've got any phase issues while running loops, or multiple amps out of this, which we do sometimes, you can solve that problem. Now, the last thing this pedal has got, and you can't really see it, but you can see I'm coming in here with my electricity. This is where my DC power supply is plugged in. It also has an output. So if you want to run your delay pedal or something like that with power supplied by the Portal, you can. So it doesn't take up an extra power supply. I don't know if you can see my zoomer up there in the corner. I've got a Strymon zoomer up there. You don't need to waste a bloody output on your power supply just to run the little mixer because it can supply another pedal. So come straight from your power supply into it, and then you've got a spare one to run a pedal or something like that. I have no issues running it right now. In fact, it's running the Mischief right now. Anyway, that's a really, really cool bit of equipment from Sonicake. I'd like to thank Sonicake very much for sending it to us to muck around with. It's pretty cool, and you guys are pretty cool to deal with. Secondly, if you've got this far, thank you for spending some time with us. Hit thumbs up, just a simple thumbs up or a comment really helps the channel a lot. We really appreciate anything you do for us like that. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you're looking for a little mixer or a little switcher for your pedal board, this is well under $100 and worth every penny. So thanks for tuning in. See you in the next video. Bye.